the Silver Spurs Arena in Kissimmee, Florida, a main event that has boxing insiders enthused. Undefeated WBC light heavyweight champion Thomasz Adamek puts his title on the line against unbeaten southpaw Chad Dawson. The elements of a highly competitive, entertaining affair.
I nigdy się nie przechwalałem.
I believe I will bring back the light heavyweight division.
Walka pokazuje się w ringu.
This weight class was once great and filled with superstars and recognizable names.
My goal is to bring life back to the division and have everybody know my name and look at me like I am the man of the division.
No, przede wszystkim boksowałem 20.
I have had 28 fights in Europe. Only my last 2 fights have been in America, and they were very exciting. I am becoming known, and after this fight, America and the world will know who I am.
I mean, he's the champion. I mean, he doesn't fight like he's on his way out. He fights like a young guy, so I mean, you can't say it. I mean, I think he's an excellent champion.
Normalny człowiek. No.
Our skills match up well. It will be very good for our fans. But whoever has the bigger heart will be the winner, and that will be me.
You can try to make it a brawl. It's going to be real tough. Like I said, I'm a counterpuncher. I'm a good boxer. I know my skill level in the ring, and I know what I can do. And eventually he'll run into something.
Będzie robił pewnie...
He'll do his best, but I am the world champion. It's my belt, and I will keep it.
Here's a look at Prince, the son of the challenger, Chad Dawson. He looks like he's ready to get in there to take on Thomasz Adamek. Well, only 18 months ago, Chad Dawson wasn't thinking about Adamek or any of the light heavyweight champs because he was a skinny middleweight who hadn't yet broken through. Since then, he's grown both literally and figuratively. And now he's a 6'1" light heavyweight who last June jumped from prospect to contender with a masterful, polished performance on Showbox against the veteran Eric Harding. Tonight, we'll find out if Dawson can combine potential and performance at the perfect time.
You know, Chad Dawson facing a very important moment in his life. This is the time when fighters have to step up, and in his case, with the level of competition he's facing, a lot going on in that mind. Am I ready? He believes he is.
Indeed, fighters that are similar in that both are undefeated, but their backgrounds, their histories, their styles, they couldn't be more different, Al.
No, they really are. That's absolutely true. You know, Adamek is a 30-year-old right-hander, you know, from Poland, who throws a lot of punches in the ring, but he's more sparing with his words outside. He's a man of action. Now, the 24-year-old Dawson is a left-handed American who's economical and precise with his punches, but more generous outside the ring with glib and articulate comments. Now, to make this even more international, I say vive la différence, which, by the way, also applies to the strategy of this fight. For Dawson, the jab is a key to establish a controlled pace in this fight. Unlike most lefties, this converted righty does not throw the left much. That punch can land against Adamek. Dawson is a superb body puncher, but he needs to do it without being countered. This combination to Eric Harding's body was crisp and delivered with power. Now tonight, Adamek will try and counter this with his right hand. Dawson needs to move his head and then avoid the right hand. This is essential if Chad Dawson is to win tonight. How well Adamek counters Dawson's hooks to the body is going to be very important for him in this match. Now, Dawson wants a controlled tempo. Adamek needs to make him work 3 minutes of every round. Adamek is best when he's putting punches together. That's his forte. Some, including Dawson, say his attack lacks creativity. But like the old Green Bay Packers, even when you expect it, you can't stop it. And these 3 punches show the age-old combination. Jab, right hand, left hook. Adamek will do this over and over again tonight.
So it'll be interesting to see how or if Al's take on this matchup has an influence on tonight's fan involvement. As we invite you to text message your predictions to us here at Showtime. Tonight's question, who will remain undefeated? Text ADM for Thomasz Adamek or text DAW for Chad Dawson. Our text number is 74688. Standard text messaging rates apply. We've seen the challenger Chad Dawson grow up here on Showtime. He's hoping to follow the path of other Showbox alums like Ricky Hatton and Jeff Lacey, who went on to become world champions. Dawson, a middleweight less than 2 years ago, tonight fighting a true 175-pounder and going for a world title in only his third bout at light heavy. Yeah, he looked convincing against a formidable Eric Harding, but is he taking on too much too soon? And did a fight with the defensive counter-punching Harding prepare him for the aggressive, brawling champ that he'll see tonight? And Al, in addition, it's curious that he changed trainers so close to a world title fight.
The man you see walking next to him with the white jacket is Floyd Mayweather Sr. He is the new trainer. Dan Birmingham was replaced. Birmingham himself a trainer of the year on 2 different occasions. Many would say right before a title match it's a risky proposition, but you know what? Boxing is littered with cases in which fighters did change trainers even before a title match, and it worked out. And in this case, he did pick a good trainer, Roger Mayweather Sr.
We'll see if it works out for Chad Dawson, who waves to his fans. Ironically, for days we had heard that Mayweather was going to work Layla Ali's corner in South Africa tonight. But as you just saw, Mayweather is here with Chad Dawson, who hears it from the crowd. And while Mayweather is known as a defensive master as a trainer, Dawson feels it's his offense that has really prospered. The rugged champion, Thomasz Adamek, with a lot of support from the Polish community from here in Central Florida. His adopted home in Jersey City. They're down from Chicago. You'll hear them as the Dawson fans try to drown them out. Adamek, huge in Poland, where this is being broadcast live at around 3 a.m. in the morning. He's the first Polish fighter to win a world title in the United States. A high-intensity, risk-taking bruiser. You see his fans on hand. And this guy's really got a warrior mentality. He is defined by his all-action, blood-spattered battles with Aussie Paul Briggs. Adamek went into the first Briggs fight with a broken nose, so obviously there is an extremely tough guy who presents Dawson with a very different kind of challenge than he had in his last fight with Harding, Al.
I think that's really a key point. Harding, a big, tall lefty who doesn't punch very hard, but certainly had skills. But this man, he is a warrior. If you look up the word warrior in the dictionary, you're going to see his picture. He will keep coming, keep throwing punches. It is up to Chad Dawson to be up to the task to face that kind of pressure and that kind of heat.
I have to wonder, though, how much did those slugfests with Briggs take out of Adamek? And also, as his wife, Dorota, looks on, she's a nurse. They've got a couple of daughters who are back in Poland, but she's doing the rhythmic applause. You can see the anxiety all over her face. Takes a big sigh of relief for her husband. And you got to also remember that tonight Adamek is facing his first southpaw in about 3 years. Let's size him up as we go to the tail of the tape. And the 24-year-old Dawson has the youth by 6 years. Adamek at 6'2.5" with the 1.5-inch height advantage. But then it's Dawson with the 1.5-inch edge in reach. And at yesterday's weigh-in, Adamek just a pound under the limit, Dawson right on. And the notable unified rules for this world title fight: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt causes a fight to end within 4 rounds, it's a no decision. After 4 rounds, they go to the scorecards. And if a punch causes a cut and the injured fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. So with the crowd chanting Poland here in Kissimmee, Florida. We're at the Silver Spurs Arena and getting ready for our main event. Thomasz Adamek, Chad Dawson for the WBC light heavyweight crown. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you and welcome to the Silver Spurs Arena here in Kissimmee, Florida, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Don King Productions in association with Gary Shaw Productions and Showtime. Tonight's action is sponsored by FRI Investors and My Little Star. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, the President, Jose Suleiman, Supervisors Juan Sanchez and Joe Dwyer, along with the Florida State Boxing Commission, the Chairman, Eduardo La Casa, Vice Chairman Don Bowen, Commissioners Barbara Auger, Ramon Ortiz, and Dr. Donald Perry, with the Executive Director Tom Malloy. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Alan Fields and Dr. Stanley Simpson, timekeeper at the bell, the Candyman Bill Anello, and introducing to you our three judges scoring this bout from ringside. From Bangkok, Thailand, Anek Hongtongkan. From Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Alejandro Rochin. And from Coral Springs, Florida, Peter Trematera. Our third man to the ring, a referee in charge of the action, hails from Coral Springs, Florida, Jorge Alonso. All right, fans, here we go with our main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Kissimmee, Florida, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue, red, and silver trunks. He hails from New Haven, Connecticut. He weighed in at the light heavyweight limit of 175 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 22 wins, no losses, one no contest, with 15 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated NABF champion and the WBC number 2 ranked light heavyweight contender, introducing the challenger, Bad Chad Dawson. And his opponent across the ring, the defending world champion. On my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim, fighting out of Jersey City, New Jersey, by way of Gliwice, Poland. He weighed in at 174 pounds. He also is undefeated in his campaign with 31 wins, no losses, 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight he is making the third defense of his title. Here is the undefeated WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, introducing Thomasz Adamek. And once again, a referee in charge, Jorge Alonso, now to give instructions, 12 rounds of action scheduled.
Okay, I spoke to both of you in the dressing room. We went over the rules, okay? Let me remind you, we're going to be very strict calling shots behind the head and calling shots, kidney shots, okay? Give me a clean fight when I say break over my verbal commands. Protect yourself at all times, okay? Hold on a second. This is good here. This is good here. Any questions? Any questions?
Everything's good.
Gentlemen, touch them up and let's have a good fight.
And the results of our text message question, who will remain undefeated, went to Adamek, 57%. Dawson got 43%. An intriguing clash of styles in this battle for the light heavyweight title. Rangy but cut Thomasz Adamek, a fierce competitor with no quit. Big man with a big heart, good punch, also has skills, good jab. Can he get his power punches in on the cool, tactical Chad Dawson? A tall, physically strong lefty, but a natural right-hander with exceptional hand speed.
Let's go!
Here we go. Round one scheduled for 12 for the WBC light heavyweight title. Dawson does not look for ugly fights, while Adamek does. So this could really get interesting if the champion has his way. Adamek, the champion in the white with the red trim. Dawson, the challenger in the blue, red, and silver, both undefeated.
One of the big wild cards in this fight is, in fact, the left-handed stance of Dawson. You mentioned that it's been 3 years since Adamek fought a lefty, though he is undefeated, 5-0 against left-handers. But the Dawson left-handed style could be a problem for Adamek.
Dawson has to be leery, particularly of Adamek's right hand. Dawson does have a solid chin. Dawson said his goal is to throw combinations off the jab, and while he's a southpaw, his most effective weapons is a straight left hand, but his most effective weapons usually are the right jab and the right uppercut.
Okay, so if you told me the first good punch of this fight was going to be a left hand by Chad Dawson, I would have said you're crazy. But that's good for Chad Dawson, because that's the punch that's really there against Adamek, and that was one of the keys I pointed out. He's got to throw that punch at least some in this fight, and he landed the first one he threw.
Adamek, as you can see, has a habit of carrying his left hand low, leaving him vulnerable to right hands, although that was a successful left just a moment ago by Chad Dawson. But Adamek, like Dawson, can take a punch. Adamek down only once in 31 fights. The first round of his rematch with Briggs, Dawson dropped twice in 23 fights, including the first round of his last fight with Eric Harding.
Adamek going downstairs with the right hand. Adamek, you will see him start to uncoil those right hands if he can. Now, Dawson's a great body puncher. He just showed you work to the body, and his body work pushed Adamek back. When he goes to the body, it's incumbent upon Adamek to counter him with a right hand or a hook.
Dawson, under Floyd Mayweather Sr., feels that his combinations have really improved. He will look to move and spin and tie up Adamek if he has to. Use the jab. Just try to keep Adamek as off balance as possible. A little slip there by Dawson, giving Adamek a little opening. Now Adamek ran into one of the advertisements there, and they wisely get rid of it. Oh, nice big right hand right after the straight left. So a nice combination by Chad Dawson there. Good opening round for the challenger.
Ziggy, Thomas, don't follow him around, okay? When he's going this way, you step out and cut him off. Make him come the other way, okay? Don't follow him, okay? Give me more face. Keep shooting the right hand. And keep it closing the gap on it. Back him up a little more, okay? Get the jab working more. Relax, man, relax.
Good advice from Buddy McGirt, famed trainer in the corner of Adamek. Chad Dawson can land a straight left hand in this fight. That's what a lefty should be able to do against Adamek. It's not his best punch, but right away in this fight, he was able to get it in. There's some awkward action. That happens against left-handers. You know, you are going to have this kind of awkward foot activity, and we had it early in this fight.
Buddy McGirt in the corner of Thomasz Adamek has worked with Thomas on his movement and avoiding punches, what he did with Arturo Gatti. And the crowd chanting Poland. So the man in the white with the red trim, Thomasz Adamek.
This is only the second fight that Adamek has had with Buddy McGirt, but he feels McGirt's making a big difference with him, especially in terms of defense.
He was with Adamek for the rematch victory over Paul Briggs, but not the first fight. And of course, it's Floyd Mayweather Sr.'s first fight with Chad Dawson, who replaced Dan Birmingham. So it's round two, scheduled for 12 for the WBC light heavyweight title. Pouring in is Chad Dawson, which is something you usually see Adamek do. Adamek being cautious, a little tentative.
You see the footwork. You can see the left foot of Adamek needs to be outside the right foot of Dawson. For the most part, it's been there, but Adamek still can't seem to get off. So he's positioned right, but he's just not able to throw punches.
And you also see Adamek's or Dawson's lead foot, the right foot, pointed inward, which usually makes it difficult for a southpaw to throw an effective left hand.
No holding.
But he doesn't seem to be having a problem here. There was another straight left that got through the Adamek guard.
Well, Chad Dawson's doing several things right in these first two rounds. One of them is he's using his jab effectively, and that's a very important weapon for him.
He said that could be his ticket to the title.
This is a more tentative Adamek, and you have to account for some of it being the style, I guess, and some of it maybe being just that Chad Dawson's been very precise and quick with his punches. It's not that Adamek didn't get good sparring. He sparred with Richard Hall, who was a top former top light heavyweight. Also Buddy McGirt Jr., James McGirt, Buddy McGirt's son, who's a good lefty, and Freddie Moore. This was a good group to spar with to get you ready for a left-hander.
And going into the Harding fight, a lot of folks thought that it was a miscalculation in judgment for the Dawson people. But it was Dawson's finest hour. Can he pull it off again on his biggest platform here as he goes for a world title against the champion Thomasz Adamek?
It's only 2 rounds, but when Chad Dawson laid his head down at night during those months of training, this is exactly how he thought these first 2 rounds should go for him.
So things couldn't be better thus far for Chad Dawson.
Again, breathe deep. Let him breathe. Let him breathe. Let him breathe. Breathe him. Give me 2 or 3. Come on. Go, Chad. Again. Oh, baby. You're in the fight. I want you to keep. I want you to use your jab a little more, man.
Well, the things that Adamek is doing right, one of the things is he's got his left foot outside the right foot of Chad Dawson. That's what you want to do. You want to get that foot in that position. But now look, when he steps, he moves inside the foot, and that's wrong. And so he can't get his punches off. Now there he should have been able to land a left hook because that foot was outside. So Adamek has some issues. Now the jab of Chad Dawson, even though not everything landed there, that's exactly the way he wants this fight to go, and that keeps Adamek on his heels.
Well, Al, as we enter round 3, this is clearly not the same Thomasz Adamek we saw against Paul Briggs or Thomas Ulrich for that matter. And a lot of that has to do with the man in front of him, Chad Dawson, who's a southpaw and very tough to hit. He's got great hand speed.
Bring it up, okay?
So far, Adamek just hasn't been able to get off. He hasn't been able to throw punches, and he's just not doing it.
And the Polish fans here, very quiet all of a sudden.
And even when Dawson, like in that sequence, was pushing forward, instead of Adamek standing there and counterpunching, he's the one that moved away. So that's a very odd posture for Adamek given his history.
We haven't seen the Dawson right uppercut as of yet, which proved so effective against Harding in the victory there.
Now Adamek's starting to shoot those right hands, even to the body. Just throw punches. That's what Buddy McGirt wants him to do.
Nice straight left again by Chad Dawson. So he has really improved in that area with his left hand. Adamek continues to be on the cautious side as that right jab of Dawson keeps him off guard. And a nice straight left hand. Good combination. The quick hands of Dawson. That one landed upstairs. There's another left hand. More of a grazing blow.
Chad Dawson's fighting like a real lefty. You know, sometimes he will open himself up to throw that right hook, Steve, to the body or the head and just leave himself open. Not doing it. He's giving him all the lefty angles and winning with the jab and the straight left hand, which is not his normal way of doing business, and he's doing a good job of it.
Chad Dawson looking very impressive here over the first 2+ rounds of this championship fight, showing absolutely no nerves. He is in control. Another straight left hand to the head by Dawson. That one fell short. But blurring hand speed by Dawson.
These are more straight left hands than I think Chad Dawson could have ever thought of landing in the first 3 rounds of this fight. They've been very, very effective. And the jab has been really superb.
We haven't seen much of the ramrod jab of Thomasz Adamek, something that was very effective in the Paul Briggs fights.
Now, that's a tough punch to land against a southpaw, but you have to use it and establish it.
And it sets up the straight right down the middle, which is the money punch for a conventional fighter against a lefty. But it hasn't worked thus far. Adamek shakes his hand, his head as he goes back to the corner of the Dawson family. The girlfriend is Crystal, the 2 little boys, ages 3 and 2 months. Prince Chadwick, age 3, raising his arms, and then Chancellor Dawson, just 3 months. He's asleep.
One more time. 1, 2, 3. You can back him up, man. Back him up with the jab. Back him up with the jab. That's right. Just shoot that straight left hand, left hook, right hook behind it. Just keep it and hit the body a little more. Keep him backing up with the jab and go downstairs on it. On both sides, okay? All right.
Well, the jab and the straight left, weapons traditionally used by left-handers against the righties. There you see him pawing with the jab, but it set up the straight left hand. And Adamek positioned poorly and getting hit with those straight left hands a lot in this fight.
And it's round 4. So far, a fight that has been dominated by the challenger, Chad Dawson, who is wearing the blue, red, and silver trunks. 22-0 with 1 no contest, 15 knockouts. 5.5-year pro, born in Hartsville, South Carolina, now living in New Haven, Connecticut. Thomasz Adamek in the white with the red trim is the champ. 31-0, 21 knockouts out of Gilowice, Poland, now living in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Buddy McGirt telling Adamek, we've been told in the corner, throw the right hand more. You've got to throw that punch. And of course, he's really not trying to throw it very much. The other weapon that I believe is very useful against the southpaw is if you step to the left, you throw those hooks. Adamek is not by nature a left hooker. That left hook will come only on the end of combinations for him.
Well, Chad Dawson, who looked so polished in his coming out party against Eric Harding, picks up where he left off here to this point.
There's Adamek finally throwing the right hand. The difference in this fight has been hand speed for the most part. Dawson, very, very quick. And honestly, Steve, you and I, we watch a lot of tapes of these fighters. Of course, we've seen him on our Showbox, our sister Showbox show. He feels quicker in person to me than he does when you see him on television.
He also looks bigger and taller than Thomasz Adamek, but he's not. Perhaps the guidance of Floyd Mayweather Sr. has had something to do with this improvement.
He may. I just think this young man has, physical skills, and he's putting these jabs and the left hands together extremely well.
Nice quick combination again by Dawson, who's really winning this crowd over.
Watch your head,
come
guys.
together again. The heads
Hey, watch your head.
perilously close.
Watch your head, baby, all right?
Jorge Alonso, the warning, watch the heads. Maybe you have a lefty and a righty, as Al pointed out.
Now there was Adamek working a little on the inside, but Adamek, he doesn't want to engage with Dawson. So we can surmise from this that Chad Dawson has already shown Adamek enough pop in his punches to make Adamek at least a little bit wary of engaging completely on the inside.
A southpaw with skill and power. There's another good left and a hard right to the body. Okay? Getting cautioned by Jorge Alonso for the possible kidney punch.
And you know what's missing in this fight? Combinations from Adamek. He is a true combination puncher. We've seen none of that in this fight.
The left side of Adamek is getting all red and bruised up.
It's a clean, man.
Very difficult for Adamek's wife Dorota to watch.
Okay, you gotta throw punches. You don't throw no punches. Okay, when he's punching, you're going back too much. Tell him when this guy starts punching, he gotta let his hands go. Okay, when the other guy starts punching, he's gotta let his hands go. Stop jumping back so much. Okay, when he starts punching, you gotta stop punching. Don't back off. Okay, you gotta stand there and you gotta punch. Okay, you go, baby. Let's go.
Well, Chad Dawson is known as a very good body puncher. He started that sequence to the body and then came to the head. And look at the right hook downstairs. And not a good moment for Dorota.
So a very rugged night thus far for the champion Thomasz Adamek, who just can't get kick-started. You heard Buddy McGirt's instructions. Hey, when he throws, don't back off. You throw. It has been all Chad Dawson to this point.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bring it up, man. That was low. Come on, let's go now.
Now, one danger of too many warnings from Jorge Alonso is that it may take Dawson off his game of throwing body punches. Although, the way he's landing to the head, maybe that won't hurt him that much.
True.
Break! Step back. No punches. Good job.
Left hand set up by two jabs, but the left missed. Press row, George Kimball from the Sweet Science, Tomasz Kurlik from a newspaper in Poland, Shea Glad Sport OV, and Dan Raphael from ESPN.com. A shutout for Dawson.
And that matches my scorecard. And good for the Polish writer for scoring correctly.
Being very fair-minded. Dawson jumps all over Adamek. Not where Adamek wants to be.
Close that face.
The combination punching of Dawson, I think, is really special. You know, we think of him as a guy that's a little economical with his punches, measures them, and maybe that's something. You know, let's say this about Floyd Mayweather Sr., because in this fight he is throwing many more combinations than we had seen before. So if Mayweather had something to do with that, which he very well may have, it's a good signature for him.
And a nice right uppercut by Chad Dawson. There's that secret weapon of his, as he responds to the chants of USA from this crowd here in Florida.
Well, we know Adamek has defensive liabilities. McGirt has been trying to work with him on those, so that's true, but I don't want to use those defensive liabilities as a way to demean what Chad Dawson's doing, because he is throwing very good combinations of very precise punches.
One thing Adamek does have, though, is a very good chin. Down only one time in 31 fights. The first round of his last fight with Paul Briggs, he got a little right hand in there that pushed Dawson back, but wasn't much power behind it. More power behind that left hand of Dawson that put Adamek back. And a right hand by Dawson. Dawson landing with almost everything he throws.
Ziggy, tell him to stop. He's waiting too long. This guy's too fast. He's got to let his hands go. Okay? You're throwing one punch at a time. You got to throw combination. Okay? This guy's too fast. You can't wait.
Well, Buddy McGirt referenced the speed of Dawson, which I think surprised them as much as it has everybody else. And there's the combination punching with the body shot and the straight left hands. He's showing the complete arsenal here tonight. So much so that even You see a look at the same sequence, and you see all the variety of punches that he throws. And here's a punch we hadn't seen to this point, and that is the uppercut. He's got a good one, and there it is. It's a dangerous punch sometimes to throw from that posture, but it lands, and we've seen it land in other fights.
McGirt wants Adamek to throw more combinations, or just throw combinations, period. As we enter round 6, scheduled for 12 for the WBC light heavyweight title, currently owned by Thomasz Adamek, but Adamek each round seeing the belt slip away. So it's almost the midway point of this championship fight, and a lot of folks thought that Dawson was good. Some thought he was overrated. Well, what do you think to this point?
Well, it's a breakout performance against the guy who is acknowledged as certainly one of the 2 or 3, maybe the best light heavyweight in the world. And Chad Dawson has been positively brilliant. Great right hook to the body by Dawson. So, it's been a perfect performance for Dawson to this point.
A lopsided performance by the challenger, Chad Dawson. I don't think too many people thought it would be like this.
No. It's interesting. Dawson does everything else right-handed, but he boxes left-handed. And that's only because his dad, Rick, who was a boxer, he watched him as a youngster boxing left-handed, and he said, oh, okay, I guess I got to be like Dad. So he's a lefty. And how about how that's helped him in his professional career? Because being a lefty is a huge advantage.
And being a natural right-hander provides him with power in both hands, and we've seen that advertised here on occasion tonight. There's a good right hand to the side of Adamek's head by Dawson.
I'm blown away by the hand speed of Dawson. That's the one aspect of this that is a little surprising. It just he never seemed like a fighter that had this kind of blinding hand speed, and boy, he does.
Another low blow there. That's the second caution by Jorge Alonso to Chad Dawson. I think Buddy McGirt, Adamek's trainer, would agree with you, Al.
Yeah, sure, they looked at the same tapes we did and said, oh, really good fighter, but where'd all these combinations come from?
A couple of right hands by Adamek that made Dawson think for a moment, but then Dawson goes right back to it and lands to the body.
Very big moment in this fight, because now when Dawson goes to the body, Adamek is countering with the right, which we talked about before the fight. A big moment for Adamek.
And now Adamek's starting to show some signs. He just clocked Dawson on the top of the head. There's a good left hand back by Dawson. The uppercut missed, but suddenly a little bit of a subtle change.
Well, and the danger is that Chad Dawson is so confident now, he's getting on the inside and squaring himself up to throw big power shots. That's when Adamek is landing the counter right hand.
Adamek with some more confidence, a wraparound right hand by Chad Dawson to the back of Adamek's neck. Interesting 6th round.
Look, Chad. Look, man. Look. Look, Chad. Look, man. Look here. You can knock this guy out, man. Look, man. You can knock this guy out, man. You hit him with 2 punches, 3 good shots, man. You let him go. You got to keep firing, man. I told you that. Let's stop punching, man. When you get
Chad Dawson early in that last round was dazzling with his combination punching. There's a 3-4 punch combination, 2 of the 4 landing. And then there was a punch that would stray a bit low off the side of the hip of Adamek. Not in an area to do serious damage, but Jorge Alonso not happy about it.
Overall, it has been a dynamic performance by the challenger, Chad Dawson. Big look of concern on the face of the champion, Thomasz Adamek, in the white with the red trim as he comes out to begin the 7th. Another good, fast left hand to the head by Dawson to open the round.
Now, here's the only danger for Chad Dawson, and we saw it a little bit toward the end of round 6. If he goes on the inside and tries to land big power shots with the right hook and the right uppercut too much, he could be countered by the right by Adamek.
And it seems like that's what Adamek is waiting for.
And he's got to measure what he does, Dawson. But for Adamek, he's got to keep throwing that right hand. And I mean, he's got to throw it and keep throwing it, whether it's landing or not.
Well, he better start soon and fast because he's starting to run out of time.
Step back. Step back. That's it. Good job.
Because each round is mounting up against him in points. Minute gone by in round 7, scheduled for 12 for the WBC light heavyweight title. Back comes Adamek down with a series of punches, but it didn't seem to faze Dawson as we check out fresh row again. And again, it's all Dawson.
And that is exactly the way that I have the fight scored. Now, Chad Dawson has been 12 rounds one time in his life against Eric Harding. He performed well over the 12-round limit and won that fight, of course.
Adamek, meanwhile, is 2-0 in 12-round fights, both by majority decision, including his last fight. And those were Paul Briggs.
And you can see those fights you referenced to Briggs, of course, were wars. You can see it takes a lot to discourage Thomasz Adamek. So while Dawson continues to wail away, he's not discouraging Adamek. He's still coming forward.
And also, Adamek is in fantastic condition. So there he goes, a left hand to the body, and it's a knockdown.
Yep, sure was.
6, 7, 8. Got you in the stomach, baby.
You heard Jorge Alonso got you in the stomach, baby. Adamek doesn't agree, thought it was a slip, but that was a clear knockdown on a body shot.
And I don't know that Adamek was hurt. He was just off balance, but it clearly counts as a knockdown. So as if Chad Dawson needed any extra help in pitching this shutout. Now he might, oh, wow, tremendous left hand.
So Adamek down for the second time in his career, this 32 fights. There's a good left hand to the head by Chad Dawson that rocked Adamek. Adamek now down 2 times in his last 2 fights. But it's the end of round 7. Dawson keeps coming on. He's trying to do what Floyd Mayweather Sr. told him to do. Knock him out. Just keep punching when you have him in some trouble. Huge round for the challenger Dawson.
Jiggy telling me you got to stop going back when the guy punches. You got to stand there and punch. Okay, you got to punch. Stand there and punch. Don't go backwards. Keep backing him up. Okay? You got to throw the right hand after the double jab. Double jab, right hand for the chest. Don't shoot for the head because he's getting low. Tell him, Jiggy, please.
Here's where Thomasz Adamek would go to the canvas. Now, he did get tripped. It's interesting. Clearly, what happened was the foot was behind him and the left hand hit him in the body. So, in retrospect, and of course, we have the advantage of slow motion to see it, the left hand did clearly land. So, you can understand Jorge Alonso's calling that a knockdown, and it seemed appropriate. And there's more combinations from Dawson.
So, it was indeed a combination of the feet coming together and the punch. But all Jorge Alonso saw was the punch.
Right, exactly.
And so you can't really fault him.
As did we when we saw it live.
So here we go into round 8.
You know, ironically, this fight is reminiscent of the Jeff Lacey-Joe Calzaghe fight. No one on earth thought that Joe Calzaghe was going to dominate every round of that fight like he did, even if many thought he might win. I don't think anyone going in thought Chad Dawson would dominate like this.
And ironically, Dawson, a former stablemate of Jeff Lacey. But that was complete and utter annihilation each round.
Yeah, it really was. Well, in this fight, even though the damage might be slightly less, I'll tell you, Chad Dawson has controlled every single round. He's got a 10-8 round to boot because of that knockdown, however it came.
Their records beyond the 7th round. Adamek in 9 fights, 9-0, no knockouts. And Dawson 5 times 5-0.
You know, they want Adamek to come forward, but the problem is he's getting hit so much when he comes forward that he just can't sustain that assault.
Right hand that clipped Adamek on the face. And again, the exceptional hand speed of Chad Dawson. And I tell you, Adamek just has no answer. He cannot solve this puzzle. He has never faced anybody with this kind of hand speed, for sure.
And I don't think he anticipated facing someone with that kind of hand speed when he got in the ring tonight. You've done a lot of football where teams scout other teams, they see them on film, but then when they get on the field with them sometimes, or in basketball, they're amazed at how quick they are, and I think this is one of those cases.
Adamek just walked into a shot by Dawson, and he felt that one. You just feel the air going out of him. There's a lot of passion and nationalism here tonight. The crowd chanting USA. You don't hear Poland anymore because those fans are very discouraged right now. But they are hoping for a miracle. Can Adamek suddenly turn things around?
And you know, Adamek is a good puncher, so you can't totally rule that out. But he's getting nailed a lot.
Big left hand right above us by Dawson. And Adamek has, again, no reply. He doesn't counter. And he's just getting jabbed and jabbed. Boy, that's an effective punch for Dawson. Showtime Championship Boxing returns on March 3rd with an explosive matchup that could be a fan's dream fight. Israel Vasquez puts his WBC Super Bantamweight title on the line for the third time as he takes on IBF Bantamweight champion Rafael Marquez. This fight between Vasquez and Marquez, who's moving up in weight, pits two of the most exciting pound-for-pound fighters in what has the makings for a terrific matchup. Plus, unbeaten champ Vic Darchinyan faces Victor Burgos for the IBF flyweight title. That's all live March 3rd, only on Showtime.
Well, Chad Dawson has given his most complete performance to date, and one of the reasons is because that straight left hand, which has not always been his strongest punch, has been so evident tonight against Adamek. It's just been superb. It's been very accurate.
This has been a dazzling performance. What more can you say by the challenger Chad Dawson in the blue, red, and silver trunks, the southpaw. He's the challenger, trying to take the title away from Thomasz Adamek. Dawson proving that he is really a rising star in this sport with this performance tonight. Well, interesting stuff from Buddy McGirt in the corner between rounds, Al. He said, if you sustain any more punches, I'm going to stop it. And here we go again. Chad Dawson picks it up.
He may not get to it because we're very early in this round, and Jorge Alonso may have to do it for him because now Adamek is getting really hurt.
He's getting ripped to the head and the body. The last series of punches upstairs. Dawson's won every round, won by 2 points on a knockdown, a bit of a questionable knockdown, but a knockdown nonetheless.
And in this posture, it's the body work right now that could do as much damage as the head to Adamek when he's in that corner. He's throwing thunderous body shots.
And now Adamek is just a sitting duck. He is a big target. Press row once again. It's all Chad Dawson.
Impossible, really, to give Adamek a round in this fight.
They've given every round to the challenger.
Wow, those body shots are dramatic. Finally, a right hand from Adamek that almost landed, and that's the best you can say about what he's done in the last couple of rounds. It almost looks like Adamek never saw a lefty, and we know he sparred with good lefties getting ready for this. Tremendous hook to the body.
These are pulverizing shots to the midsection by Chad Dawson. Dawson continues to pummel.
You don't want to get low against Dawson, which Adamek is doing. That's when he will just blast you to the body and the head with those right hooks.
Champion gamely fighting on, but he just hasn't altered his strategy in any way, and he's just being beaten to the punch every single round.
Now there on the inside, Adamek at least gets a little active.
30 20 seconds remaining of the ninth. It's scheduled for 12. Dawson continues to have his way, just complete and utter domination.
Now, Chad Dawson is taking every chance in the world right now, and he took a right hand from Adamek. I'm not sure that's really the posture they would want from him.
Final seconds of round 9. Right hand pushed Dawson back briefly. Then Adamek misses with another right, and Dawson too elusive defensively.
He's going to give him one more round or he's going to stop it. He's got to start throwing punches, okay? You got to start throwing punches. If you don't throw no punches, I'm going to stop it. You hear me? You understand? You understand? Yeah. Okay? You got to start throwing punches. Don't land on the ropes. Okay? You got to keep backing them up. You letting them get too brave. You got to let your hands go now. So if I go through. One more round I'm going to give you. You ready?
Well, Chad Dawson had a superb 9th round. That straight left hand is reminiscent of so many, but there's the body work by Dawson. He's a thunderous body puncher. He gets so much leverage in that right hook to the body.
When you move and box, use your jab.
Accurate, polished. The words to describe Chad Dawson, and powerful, skilled. You heard Buddy McGirt, a sense of urgency in that corner. He's going to give Adamek one more round, this 10th round. And oh, big left hand by Chad Dawson that pushed the champion back. Stopped him in his tracks, but he just keeps coming forward now. He's got a hard head. But McGirt said, I'll give you one more round, and if you don't offer back, I'm going to stop.
Good job, good job.
The left eye of Adamek starting to get a little damage, starting to close a bit.
You know, Adamek has never actually moved to his left. He's kept his foot outside the right foot of Harding like you're supposed to against the lefty, but you should also be moving to your left, and he's never done that to get himself out of harm's way from those straight left hands. So tactically, this has not been a masterpiece for Thomasz Adamek.
Well, it certainly has been for Chad Dawson. It has been a virtuoso performance by the challenger, who at the last minute, just before a title fight, changes trainers. I mean, as you pointed out earlier on, changing trainers is not odd in boxing. Adamek tries to nail Dawson to the body, but sometimes it gets a little curious when you do it so close to a big fight like this.
And you change the, change a big component of what you're doing, but Floyd Mayweather Sr. has to be happy with what he's seeing, and you have to give him credit for whatever he's done with Chad Dawson, because Chad Dawson is a... Oh, my!
A right hand by Adamek, and down goes Dawson out of nowhere. He says he's all right to his corner.
6, 7, 8. How you doing? Walk. Let's go.
Dawson down for the 3rd time in his career now. He just holds on. Adamek says, I'm going to throw everything at Dawson and try to win the fight right here. He is so far behind. This is his only shot.
Chad Dawson needs to move and jab, not stand in there and throw right hooks and trade with Adamek if he can.
What a dramatic turnaround in this fight.
I got it.
Late in the 10th round, Thomasz Adamek, terribly behind on the scorecard, scores a knockdown. Another right hand by Adamek, sending Dawson back. Dawson seems to have his legs. He motioned over to his corner as soon as he went down that he was all right, that he wasn't hurt from the punch.
Chad Dawson shouldn't throw another right hook for a long time in this fight. He's squaring himself up. Jabs and straight left hands are what he needs, and movement.
So suddenly a huge burst of confidence for the champion Thomasz Adamek and his fans of Polish descent.
Look, man, look. Get your hand, get your leg out there. Look, man, look here. Look here, I don't give a damn what you think, man. Take this round, make it miss. Tie him up, man. That's all you need to do this round. You don't want every single round, man. Maybe this round, the only round you here. Use this round right here. Tie him up. Make him miss.
Well, Adamek able to get a straight right hand in after throwing a jab. It was one of the very few that he has landed solid during the court. He used it, and look what set it up. A very nice left jab by Adamek. Now, Dawson looked at his corner after and said, I'm okay, but he wasn't totally okay because for the rest of that round, Adamek did land some good punches, although Dawson certainly fought back. Brilliant advice from Roger Mayweather in the corner. Take the round off. Do anything you need to survive.
And a left-hand blast at the bell by Dawson. Round 11, the championship rounds. And suddenly, we have a very interesting situation on our hands. After every round went into the books for Chad Dawson, he was even ahead in the last round before he went down.
Now, the missing component is the jab. Dawson's not jabbing at all. It's not keeping Adamek off him right now. Jab and movement. There's the jab, and look how it disrupts Adamek.
So 2 knockdowns in the fight. Each guy going down. Here's Adamek charging forward. Adamek desperate.
The plot has thickened here, and now Adamek feels that he can get on the inside and throw those punches. And now look how aggressive he's being.
Adamek so conditioned, so experienced. The experience has to be a factor here for Adamek. All Dawson has to do is stay away or tie him up. He is so far ahead on the scorecards. He just has to stay standing.
And for Adamek, the trick here now is to throw enough kinds of punches to get him out. And I'll tell you, Dawson's helping him because he's getting himself caught against the ropes where Adamek can go to work on him.
Anxious moments here now as you check out press row. Still
Baby, watch that,
a shutout for the challenger, Dawson, even with that knockdown.
Well, not a total shutout because he did win the last round, but yeah, he's way ahead at this juncture.
Now the trunks of Dawson are slipping down.
No.
I've got to check that out. They're way down, Al. Underneath the protective support there.
Stop.
And they're almost completely down. Unbelievable. Jorge Alonso has to help them out there. 52 seconds left in the 11th round. Adamek trying to pick it up.
And this has actually been a fairly close round, even though Adamek has done much better work. You probably would give it to Adamek, but Dawson's hung in there.
Break, I got it. No punches, no.
Right hand by Adamek. Gets to a countering right hand that rocked Adamek. And Dawson pounding away to the head of the body.
These rounds are looking Adamek-Briggs-like.
Yes. Dawson digging to the body. That slows Adamek down. But Adamek showing a lot of heart.
Both fighters are tired right now, let me tell you. And the 12th round could give us some surprises.
Understandably. Here we go.
Water, please, water.
Water, John.
Thomas, listen to me. Don't wait. Throw the right hand straight. You're going wide with it. Tell him he's overshooting his target. Give yourself room. Give yourself room to punch. Okay?
Last round, touch gloves, okay? Last round, keep a clean touch, okay?
Hey, how you feel? You feel all right? Good, baby. You almost got, come on. Okay. Last box is one. Give me the water. Water. Let's go, baby.
Well, we saw Shannon Briggs with a late knockout in his fight against Sergey Lahovich. Desperately behind, he took the title the only way he could. Can Adamek pull it off as well? Round 12, here we go. Chad Dawson, the challenger, way ahead. Adamek coming back to knock Dawson down.
Well, Dawson, if he's able, could turn this into the Chad Dawson Invitational track meet in round 12 and still win the fight. Can he do that and not get nailed with something by Adamek?
All Dawson has to do is stay up. Stay away, tie him up, move. And he's the new WBC light heavyweight champion.
You know, it's ironic. Early in the fight, Adamek couldn't find a way to get the left hook in, and now in the last couple of rounds he has, but of course it's very late for that. Oh, you know, Dawson is so exposed in there for that short right hand on a couple of occasions. You just wonder if Adamek can get another one of those in. And now look at Dawson laying on the ropes, though he lands good off it.
Yeah, he's kind of asking for trouble.
Yes.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
But Adamek just can't take advantage.
Boy, this last 1 minute and 41 seconds can't tick off quick enough for Dawson and his team.
Yeah, you got to believe there's some concern in that Dawson corner, even though he seems to have this one well in the bag. Great right hand by Adamek, trying to pin Dawson against the ropes. Dawson gets out of there. Good shot to the body by Dawson.
You know, it's interesting. Dawson is counterpunching low off those ropes. And give Chad Dawson high marks for poise. This 24-year-old never been in this particular situation before in the biggest fight of his life. Got hurt, got up, and he has had the presence of mind to hang in there against this very tough champion.
And very similar to the way he performed against the very experienced Eric Harding in his last fight. He got off the canvas in the first fight and just won that fight decisively. So he's just got to hang on for 40 more seconds, and we have a new world champion and a new star in the boxing world, Chad Dawson.
Stop! I got it, my break. Turn around, turn around.
Changing of the guard in the light heavyweight division. New generation. The light heavyweight division champions are old and they're foreign, and we've got a young American champion here. The fans around the ring all standing. And you'll hear a roar in a few seconds when the bell sounds.
Break, that's it, guys.
There is no question as the Dawson family celebrates. If it wasn't a shutout, it was the closest thing to a shutout.
Got that? New champion, baby. Hold on. Leave him alone. Wait a minute. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let me just talk to him. They're gonna ask you in there.
It is all good for bad Chad. A masterful performance for Chad Dawson.
Wait a minute.
Well, and for this man, Thomasz Adamek, and his trainer, Buddy McGirt, a monstrous disappointment. They thought they were poised to get a major win that would put him in line for other big fights. Instead, he loses his title in the worst fashion.
On his biggest stage, Chad Dawson comes through.
And you know what made this performance special? Not just that he did so well over those first 9.5 rounds and 10 rounds, but that he was able to keep his poise and come back from adversity. That said as much about Chad Dawson as the beginning part of the fight.
That's very true. Good point.
Great sportsmanship in the center of that ring, and that's great to see.
Give me the other arm. Give me the other arm.
Dawson on the threshold of handing Adamek his first loss. Adamek will fall to 31-1 in his third title defense. We're set to get the official word from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement. We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Adamek Hong Ton Kum scores the bout 116 to 110. Judge at ringside, Alejandro Rochin scores the bout 117 to 109. And Peter Trevatera sees the bout 118 to 108. All three in favor of the winner. He is still undefeated. And the new WBC light heavyweight champion of the world, Bad Chad Dawson.
And you see the emotion on the face of Chad Dawson, overcome by what has happened here. Did you see his face for a second when Jimmy Lennon Jr. said, "and still"? Something was going through his mind as if to say, what? After hearing those scores. And the last word was undefeated. Mentioning, of course, Chad Dawson, not still champion.
You know, the light heavyweight division we mentioned, the landscape has shifted tonight. Of course, WBA champ Solt or Die. Clinton Woods has the IBF champ. Silvio Bronco, the WBA championship. And then there are all the famous guys. Antonio Tarvers, the Roy Jones Jr.'s, the Glenn Johnsons, who are lurking down there. But tonight, Chad Dawson stamped his name right near the top of this division.
A breakthrough performance by young 24-year-old Chad Dawson out of New Haven, Connecticut. Tremendously impressive job by Dawson. Now with the former champion, here's Karen Bryant. Karen?
Right, thank you. Thomas, why do you think tonight you were unable to execute your plan?
Co się stało, że coś nie mógł dzisiaj zrobić?
Znaczy Dawson był szybszy, powiedz, i to mi brakowało.
Dawson was much quicker and he was slower. That's why he lost.
And do you think the fact that it's been a while since you fought a lefty had anything to do with it?
Bo tyś długo czasu nie walczył z lewym przeciwnikiem. Czy to była ta przyczyna?
Był szybszy. Tutaj ja biorę to pod uwagę, że był szybszy.
He was quicker and that's why he lost.
Well, it definitely felt like it was just taking you a little bit of time to size him up. Would you say that's true?
Czy myślisz, że to ciebie wzięło czas, żebyś za czym się rozgrzałeś?
Nie, po prostu byłem wolniejszy i tutaj było mi trudno zaatakować. No.
He didn't attack him and that's why was the problem that he lost.
Okay, I want to show you on the monitor, if we can get one over here. We want to talk about the 7th round when you did fall down. There was a knockdown, rather. Tell us what was going through your mind. Do you feel that it was a knockdown, or do you feel that it was something else?
Czy on cię znokautował, czy się poślizgnął?
Poślizgnąłem się.
That was a slip. That wasn't a knockdown.
Okay, because it did seem at the time as well you did take a shot to the body.
Yes, that was on cię uderzył w brzuch. He says he slipped. He did not. That was a knockdown.
Now I want to talk about round 10 because in round 10 it started to look like the Briggs fight. It seemed like taking some was making you give out more, if you know what I'm saying. The 10th round you were able to get a knockdown.
Zaczęła wyglądać jak z Briggsem, że zaczął być wojownikiem i żeś go położył na deski.
No ale pozbierał się. Myślałem, że dokończę walkę, ale pozbierał się szybko.
He thought that he's going to finish him, but Chad is very durable and he came out and what happened.
Now, what do you think is next for you?
Co ty myślisz teraz z twoją karierą?
No zobaczymy, no. Ta walka nie pokazała nic złego, także myślę, że nie jestem na pozycji jakiejś straconej. Nie?
He says that this fight he think was a great fight, was a war, and he didn't think that he lost anything. You know, Chad is a great champion, and he's congratulating him.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Thomas. Well, if we can get, okay, Chad. Great. Well, congratulations to you, champ. You seem absolutely overcome with emotion. How are you feeling?
Man, it's just been a long time coming, man. I knew my talent. I knew I could make it this far if I just buckled down, train my ass off, and do what I could do, baby. I'm world champion. Can't nobody take that from me.
Nobody. No, you absolutely seem to be the aggressor tonight. Your plan appeared to be working perfectly until the 10th round, but what did you feel going up until that point?
I mean, I just felt good, man. My momentum was good. It's been a long time. I trained 6 or 7 long weeks for this, man. I mean, I knew my potential. I mean, my family was behind me 100%. I'd like to thank Gary Shaw, Mike Crisio, my manager. Man, this sky's the limit for me right now. I mean, just happy, man.
Talk to me about Floyd Mayweather, because obviously we talked earlier that you switched trainers. It seemed to be perhaps the difference for you tonight, would you say?
Man, yeah, definitely that was the difference for me. I mean, Floyd Mayweather, I told you, he's the best. When I switched trainers, I knew going with Floyd Mayweather was going to be the best thing for me. And look, it paid off. I mean, I'm just so happy. I mean, what can I say, man? I'm the best right now. I'm on top of my game.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the 7th round. Adamek went down. You had a shot to the body there, which looked like it also contributed to him getting down, but there also seemed to be a trip in there. What was it with the 7th round?
I mean, he caught me going down. He caught with a nice punch. I mean, nothing that hurt me, just a flash knockdown. I got back up and went back, stuck to my game plan.
Were you stunned at all by that?
No, it was just a flash knockdown, you know. More nerves than anything, but I got back up and I finished the job I came to do.
Now, I want to talk about the 10th round, because there was a knockdown in that as well. How did you feel there?
I mean, it was just a flash knockdown. You know, he caught me with a nice punch. He caught me with my hands down. I mean, I went down. But, hey, man, I've trained too hard for this. It's been a long time coming. I mean, I just want to make my family proud of me. And, you know, I deserve to live good, so do my family. I mean, and the sky's the limit right now.
All right. What is next for you? Where do you want to go from here?
I mean, I'll sit down and talk to Gary Shaw, my promoter. And whatever's next, I mean, whatever he brings to the table, you best believe I'm going to be ready for it. And I am the new light heavyweight champion of the world. I'd like to thank my family who stuck with me. Gary Shaw stuck with me. Mike Crissio. I mean, everybody. I mean, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather.
Come here, baby. He made a big difference today.
Absolutely.
Floyd Mayweather, man, he been with me. He told me to buckle down. I mean, at first we had some differences, but I buckled down. We got through it, and we resolved our differences, and we trained the last 6 weeks of training camp was wonderful. I mean, we had a good time, and you know, it's not all about getting in the ring and throwing punches. It's about the technique of the game and doing what you got to do, landing punches. And I'm just happy right now, and man, what can I say? I mean, I'm ready for whoever's next.
Well, it appeared that you could land anything you wanted to tonight, so you did very well. Now, Gary, I want to talk to you. You are the promoter. What is next for this man? And I might say the fight better be here on Showtime.
Oh, his fight will be on Showtime for sure. But, you know, we'll fight anybody at 175. He truly is the best 175-pounder in the world, whether it's Glenn Johnson, Tarver, Roy Jones. If they really want to fight the best, Bernard Hopkins, let them all come over to Showtime. We'll fight. Don and I will put on the next fight together. And this young man, we said all along, Adamek was very tough. He deserves all the credit in the world. I mean, he put up a tremendous fight. But now you see what a young, fast, skilled fighter can do.
Absolutely. 24 years old, you've got a big future in front of you.
Axel, thank you,
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Steve.
All right, Karen, thank you very much. A brilliant, one-sided, masterful, virtuoso performance for Chad Dawson. Let's see how the scoring went for Adamek versus Dawson. The lopsided scores of the official ringside judges, Anek Hangtang Khan, Alejandro Rochin, and Peter Tributera.
I think mostly appropriate. I think 116, 110 is a little close, but 118, 108, 117, 109, certainly within the right framework.
And pretty much the same as far as press row. George Kimball, Tomasz Kirilluk. From Poland, he had Dawson up 116, 110 like George, and Dan Raphael had the biggest disparity, 117, 109 for Chad Dawson. So it wasn't, so much that Chad Dawson prevailed here tonight, but I think the way he did it.
Yeah, on two fronts. One, that he was so dominant for those first 9.5 rounds, and then secondly, that he was able at age 24 to face up to the adversity he did toward the end of that fight. That speaks volumes about apparently what kind of fighter this young man is.
Boy, he's got some future. Who would you like to see him a fight down the road?
I think any of the top light heavyweights, certainly the Glenn Johnson, and he would make a terrific fight. Antonio Tarver would be interesting, or against one of the other titleists like Clinton Woods or Zolt Erdoy, who is more of a boxer, so he might be down the list. But any of those guys, I think, would be a very interesting match with him.
And earlier tonight, tough break for Jesus Chavez's first fight in 17 months, coming back after the Levander Johnson tragedy. His knee buckled, his torn ACL in the right knee gave out, and they call it a subluxation, which is a right knee joint separation. I got the subluxation part right.
Yeah, you did. You know what, Dr. Albert. The fact of the matter is a very tough break for him. We'll see how that affects his overall career. Julio Diaz becomes a champion. Maybe not the way he wanted, but he did a great job.
Yeah. All right, let's take a final look at tonight's results right now. As mentioned, a victorious night for Julio Diaz, who recaptured the IBF lightweight title over Jesus Chavez as Chavez's knee went out. And in our main event that you just saw, a Super Saturday on this Super Bowl Eve for still undefeated Chad Dawson, the new WBC light heavyweight champion who dethrones previously unbeaten Thomasz Adamek. Before we say goodnight, here's another reminder of what's on the horizon here on Showtime. Next Saturday, February 10th at 10 p.m., it's the premiere of Elite Extreme Combat featuring mixed martial arts legends Frank Shamrock versus Renzo Gracie. Then Showbox, The New Generation, is back on Friday, February 16th at 11 p.m. And Showtime Championship Boxing returns Saturday, March 3rd at 9 p.m. That'll do it from the Silver Spurs Arena as we close out another edition of Showtime Championship Boxing, America's Fight Night. For Al Bernstein, Karen Bryant, and our entire crew, Steve Albert saying so long from Kissimmee, Florida.